Hello everyone and welcome to my cooking channel Czech Cookbook. Today we'll be making something sweet. We'll be making kefir cake. It will have just one layer and it will have a chocolate frosting on top and some coconut, so it's really good and I hope you will give it a try. So let's see what ingredients we have, and I will be using a 9 by 13 inch pan. This is a glass baking dish. And I love this one because it has a lid, so you know you can leave the cake in it and just cover it up, and it's perfect. So all we need is 1½ cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 of a cup unsweetened cocoa, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 of a cup unsweetened coconut. Here we have half a stick of butter. For all the viewers outside of the United States, 1 stick of butter is 113 grams, so that's half a stick, 2 eggs, and last thing is 1½ cup of kefir. I make my own kefir and it's super healthy for you, and I enjoy making it. But if you don't have kefir at home, you can easily buy it as a plain kefir in any grocery store. We will also need a little bit of flour and oil for dusting our pan, and also a little bit more of coconut, because when we make the frosting we'll sprinkle some coconut on top. I will not be showing you how to make chocolate frosting because I already made a video, so I will post in the description on YouTube. I'll put the link so you can make your own chocolate frosting, or you can just use the one from a store. So let's start. First, let's prepare our baking dish. I have some olive oil here, so I'll put it on the bottom. Let's spread it around. Also on the sides. If you have a Wondra flour, it's easier to use Wondra flour. But for all of you that don't, I'll show you how I use it with all-purpose flour. I sprinkle some flour on top of the oil, and then I use a brush and I just gently brush it also on the top. Just gently. And this way you don't have that much of a flour when you cut it and eat it. And any leftover flour you can shake and just put over a sink. Let's first mix our dry ingredients. So that's 1½ cup flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Here is 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa, and I recommend that you sift it through a strainer because it's big chunks of cocoa. Use your spoon and just press it through, kind of break those chunks. Now we have 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened coconut. Now let's mix it all together. This looks good. It's all mixed up already. We will need to melt our butter, so let's put it in a microwave for I think half a minute, or how your microwave works, so we can have it melted. Here we have half a stick of butter melted. Let's add 2 eggs. And last is 1½ cup of kefir, plain kefir. And I will need hand mixer and we will mix it all together. Because my mixer on the slowest speed is still pretty fast, I like to mix it first so it does not splash all over when I turn it on. Just a little stir, and that should do it. This looks good because you don't want to over mix it, otherwise it will dry up the batter. So this is perfect, and now we can scoop it up in our baking dish. And let's turn on the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Here is our baking dish with flour, with oil and flour, and now we'll put our batter in it. Let's spread the batter evenly. The kefir makes it so moist. This is good, and as soon as our oven is preheated, let's bake it for 40 minutes. Or if you know your oven better, so just check and make sure you don't burn it. But don't open it before like 30 minutes of baking. So we will see, I'll show you how you can tell if it's done. While we are waiting for our cake to be baked, I already made my frosting, which takes maximum of 10 minutes. And I like it to be a little runny. So this is perfect. And to prevent it from drying out, I will cover it up. And we will have to also let our cake to cool off, otherwise this frosting, which is made of butter, will melt. And that's not what we want. 40 minutes is done, and the way you can tell if your cake is done is that you get a wooden skewer and just press in the middle, and if it comes out clean, then you know it's done. If it has little crumbs stuck to it, then you know that you have to bake it more. So now we can take it out. Our kefir cake is out of the oven, and now we have to let it cool off before we put any frosting, because otherwise it would melt off. So let's wait. It's colder now to touch, so that's perfect for me to put frosting on. I know I will be using the whole thing, so I'll just put the whole thing on there. Such a good frosting. Smells good. And I'll just evenly spread it. Now we can sprinkle some coconut on top. Make it look beautiful and make it even more delicious. Some of the coconut will soak in, which is perfect. You can be generous. This is unsweetened coconut. And before cutting into it, I will wait till it hardens a little bit more, because it seems still a little runny because it's so shiny.